Welcome to the 21 Gun Podcast, Honorable Discharge Edition. That's new. That's a new little name. I giggled a little bit when I came up with that, and I hear you guys giggling too. Well, we have to come up with a name for this show that designates it different than our typical show, our typical live show. This is for Compound Media, of course. So I came up with a bunch of names. I'm thinking like, I want to do something badass. Like I'm like airdrop. Special operation. I'm like, that's all douchey. I mean, we already hate bro vets. And then I'm sitting there and I'm writing stuff down and I go, honorable discharge.
It's because we're 12.
That's exactly it. And we're all brain damaged.
12.
I believe we're all brain damaged in this group here. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll just go with that. What is 21 Gun, you might be asking? We are going to go through the first third of this show, basically introducing us, telling you who we are, what the show is all about, where we came from, what we are as far as veterans. And after that, we'll go into what our normal show is. Our normal show is kind of like an interview, current topics, current events type of thing. So I figured if we just went into it and you're like, who are these douchebags talking? Then you would just point to Jeremy over here. Or we could just give you a little background and then you'll know everything about us. Everything about us in 20 minutes or less. 21 Gun is basically an open mic for veterans. That's how I like to look at it. Not a comedy way, because we are definitely, we're not funny. I've never laughed at anything I've ever done. But it gives them a place to speak. So we've had people like Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up. Really, he's a legend. He's a legend in the Army. What he did in Baghdad as far as saving his... You look like you just smelled something bad. Does something smell bad? Are you smelling the 22 Sierra coffee? Because that doesn't smell bad to me. That smells like gold in a bag. I'm just saying, I don't even know why this is here. I'll just put that back there, that 22 Sierra coffee.
Careful, you might get ambushed by 22 Sierra.
Is that the brand I put up there?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Anyways, look him up.
Actually, you do smell the coffee from
Yeah, because I gave it a little squeeze. Gave it a little squeeze so you guys can smell it. That's
little discharge.
We'll Hold on a second. Let me have a sip of my coffee here for a moment.
The slurp.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I digress. We've also had Fruity Rudy Reyes. You guys might know Rudy Reyes if you are a fan of Generation Kill. He came on a few years ago. Little known fact, he's the first guy to ever be interviewed while taking a piss. He was making sandwiches in the background.
Best.
Mid-sentence, he starts taking... You could hear the whole stream and everything. And I'm trying to keep a straight face because, the guy's awesome. And yeah, back in those days, we did telephone interviews. It wasn't all...
Did he just back in the day?
It wasn't back in the day. We've been around for quite a while.
Was that before your day, Frank?
Nobody is before Frank's day. Vets have literally...
Again, you're not that old. That was older than I am.
Vets have put their lives on the line for the Constitution. It's the one thing, right? If people ask, what did you do it for? What did you go to Iraq, go to Afghanistan, go to Africa, whatever it is? What did you do it for? The answer is that piece of paper. That's the answer. It's not for the president. It's not for... You do it for that piece of paper and the guys and girls that are with you while you're over there. The First Amendment... It's first for a reason. Second, obviously, there for a reason too. But it's so important. And in today's day and age, that's kind of stifled. So what we try to do is say, hey, if you're a veteran, if you have a veteran service organization, if you have issues, something that you want to bring out of the open, you come on the show and it's open mic. Say what you want. You earned the right to say it, and no self-censoring as far as that goes. We also had at one point Donnie O'Malley on the show. You guys might know him from Vet TV.
Oh, yeah.
He came on the show. Afterwards, if you are a Marine or soldier, we'll get into that here in a minute, people know who Vet TV is. They all look up to Donnie O'Malley. In fact, everyone walks around with little Donnie O'Malley stains on their noses.
Or chins.
Better, yeah, I was just going to say, better your nose than your chin.
How far you can go.
But everyone's really big onto him. He's got a great thing over there with Vet TV. They do their own thing. But I was like, hey, you don't have a podcast. So I pitched 21 Gun to him, and I said, hey, how can I help you guys out? And they said, you know what? We have a thing called Irreverent Warriors. Irreverent Warriors, you guys don't know, just look it up. I'm not going to get into them. It's really long, but they do events for veterans to reduce, not raise awareness, prevent veteran suicide. I said reduce, to prevent veteran suicide. And I was like, let's do it. So I ended up doing a show for them for a number of years. And it was more just like one-on-one interviews. It was, I like to say it was like NPR style type of shows, right? It was like, okay, now I'm wondering what you're. And it was good, but it wasn't really what we were looking for.
Right.
So then COVID hit. We started doing these live shows every week.
Schmovid. Got to be careful how you write things.
No, we'll get to that. We can say whatever the fuck we want to say right now.
Oh, yeah, that's
yes,
right,
whatever we want to say, except N-bombs. Don't drop the N-bomb. I think that's where we draw the line.
He's allowed to.
He is allowed to. Never mind. But
we'll get to that
without the hard R.
Without the
But I would be wrong if I didn't say we have a story today that we're going to get into where I believe you hear the hard R. We will let you do the breakdown.
With an interesting accent, I might.
That's right, an interesting accent. But we're getting ahead of ourselves there. So 21 Gun, COVID hit. We started doing our thing, our weekly shows. The idea was keep veterans connected, right? Because if we're not doing these hikes, which with Irreverent Warriors, we're doing these events, if we're not doing them, the biggest issue with veteran mental health is not being out and about. It's not being out with your friends. It's not doing anything like that. We tried to keep people connected through these live shows. We had people come on the show. We had just basically anyone. We would show movies, get kicked off of Facebook. It was a good time.
Multiple times. Oh, yeah.
People enjoyed it. I apologize ahead of time if you start hearing me do this stuff. It's because I just I'm a survivor.
Oh Lord.
Oh, see, I was gonna wear my shirt that said 2020 Survivor, but
I want a ribbon that shows that I'm a COVID survivor. It's my only like ongoing thing is.
What color would that ribbon be?
Doing
it would look like a vagina.
Could
so it'd be pink.
Possibly
pink
look like that. A hot pink ribbon. In fact. Write this down. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to make a survival ribbon. I am a survivor of coronavirus. We also have non-veteran guests on as well. In fact, last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I can't remember now, we had Michelle Black. She was a writer. She wrote Sacrifice. I normally have the book around here, but I don't. She was a Gold Star widow of a Green Beret. Fantastic story. But again, these stories all connect with veterans, all connect with what we do to try to keep ourselves in the positive zone of mental health, because too many of our brothers and sisters are taking their lives. That's where you get all that 22, 21, all those numbers are all, if you hear that and you're not a veteran, that's just kind of a call out to the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. Awesome. That was fun. Let's keep talking about suicide.
Yeah, man.
Let me see. I think we covered all the background. Let's go into... Oh, of course, I forgot. Why are we pitching a show? Why are we doing this pilot for Compound Media? A few weeks ago, we had Eric Nagel. You guys are from... Well, you guys might not be familiar, but the listeners are definitely familiar with Eric Nagel, E-Rock, Sex Bagel, whatever you want to call him. Mm-hmm. We had him on the show because...
He's cool.
Back in 2004...
He's awesome, it's a cool show.
It's a great show. But back in 2004, you fucking kiss-ass people. Anyways... I deployed and I was listening to Opie and Anthony all the time. I mean, I had him on XM. I listened to him back when I was a jobber, when I was like 20 years old, hammering nails. Always listened to them. I went on a deployment. I knew I was going to be gone for like 6 months in the middle of the desert, and I was kind of sad. I was like, I'm going to lose my little bit of home, right? This listening to these shows. Right. So I sent Eric an email, and I was like, hey, is there any way you can send out episodes to me while I'm out in the desert? He says, absolutely. Sends me stacks of, in those days, it was CD-ROMs of weekly shows. And it was awesome.
He did it back in the day.
Back in the day. We actually had to put it in the CD-ROM and all that stuff. So I passed it around to the air crews and actually made some veteran listeners of the show. Also, we got WOW stickers way back when they had this thing called WOW. On Wednesday, it was Whip 'em Out Wednesday, W-O-W.
I was thinking World of Warcraft.
And I can say, no, this isn't for nerds. This is for workers. And guys on the job site, what they would do is take tape and put it in the back of their, they put it in the back of their car or whatever. Wow. Or just put it in the dirt in the window or whatever. And if you saw WOW, women would grace you with their breasts. This happened to me a few times on the way home. So right there, as a young, impressionable man, I saw boobies on a regular basis.
First time
Thank
ever.
you.
I'm going to go on a limb and say this was way before the Me Too movement.
Yes. This was back in the 90s when it was the Wild Wild West, just when that stuff was starting. But all over Iraq, I tell you to this day, I hope it's still there. There's Opie and Anthony WOW stickers, because I had just a stack and I would put them on. Like if I saw Bradley, I'd slap it on the back and hopefully no one saw. Humvees in the bathrooms and the porta potties. WOW stickers all over Iraq and Afghanistan. More in Iraq. I spent most of my time there. But so, that was back in 2004. And then I said, hey, Eric, come on the show. We'd love to talk about it. And he came on. We had a great show with him several weeks ago. If you guys want to catch up on that stuff, just head over to 21gun.com .net. That's 21 guns, spell it out, .net. Who are the dudes, and I use that word lightly because we're still questioning Frank right here. Who are the dudes that make up 21 Gun, you might ask? We have 2 former Marines. Oh, snap. Oh, listen. Are you still a Marine? Yeah, I'm still. Okay. Listen, I get it.
This guy.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. I get that. But I thought of something when I was writing these notes because we're going to introduce you to these 2 guys here in just a second. When I'm writing the notes down, I realized you retired in the Army.
Shut up.
Which makes you a retired, what were you? E2?
Sergeant.
Just kidding. So you are a sergeant, USA, United States Army, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm retired captain, in all my glory, my captain glory, USAF, U.S. Air Force. So we have a retired Army sergeant, and you weren't graced with the ability to have your head smashed in and get retired, were you?
No, I wasn't.
But you did have your head smashed in.
Several times, actually.
Yeah.
Several times.
But we'll get into that here in just a minute. So I don't know, whatever you want to call them, Marines, Army, they're veterans. They're all, we just pick on each other. It's kind of what you do here. So
it's more us picking on you, but
some of us actually did some laborious work in the military. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, sometimes laborious work is what lets the officers relax.
Did I tell you about the time that we hit turbulence in my C-130 and
you spilled your
I
coffee.
spilled my coffee all over my flight suit? Luckily, it was desert tan,
Son of a bitch.
and it was covered in the blood of terrorists, so you couldn't.
His own
horror.
His own nosebleed. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah. Listen, as an Air Force officer, do you know what this is like? This is like Tony Stark working with Deadpool. That's exactly what this is like.
Yo, I will take that. I'll take that.
That's fair.
They're like, you know what? You
we'll
can't
take
insult
that.
a Marine. You can be like, you can be like, you guys are retards, and they're like, yeah, we are. Where's the rocks to eat? Let's start with the show producer, the guy messing with all the camera angles, never doing his job really, just riding the coattails of 21 Gun into oblivion because he think it'll help him get laid. That's my only. I can't figure it out. But that's why I think he hangs around here, because he thinks. Well, let's start off with that. Has 21 Gun ever helped you get laid?
Actually, yes.
Oh, it has. All right. There's strange looking babies running around North Carolina.
No, I can't have kids anymore, thankfully. So no, my recent ex, Jackie, as you met her.
Ooh, no names.
Oh man, Jack. Yeah, we'll go with Jack. It's 2022. We'll go with Jack. You bring up podcasts, some of them get a little flustered,
Oh my gosh. Do you mean to tell me you go to someone's front basement extra bedroom and record once a week? That's a joke of me.
Just once. It was a pity thing. It's not good enough. But dude, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Listen, I've known you for a couple years now. Jeremy came on. He was kind of like that cat that shows up at the front door and you give him milk and he just never goes away. And you're like, well, I guess I own you now.
Yeah, basically.
I've known you for several years. You've dedicated most of your time to helping veterans. Well, playing video games to 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and helping veterans. Why do you do it? Why do you do it?
So, to be honest, my experience of getting out of the military, even in the military, as you're getting out, the lack of support at the time, especially when I was in, is insanely abundant.
Absolutely.
And once you got to the point to where you're out, it's like, well, bye, good luck, pat on the back,
Oh, and here's a bunch of psychoactive drugs that we hope you don't get addicted to, but take them anyways. Addictive drugs, I shit you not, they come in your mail. They come into your mailbox. You're like,
they
sweet.
came in my mouth.
I was starting to have withdrawals. Anyways, so continue.
So it got to the point to where I didn't have the outreach. I didn't have these organizations. I didn't have the ability or avenues to be a part of something that meant more besides my service. Because as you get out, most of us still feel that sense of desire, longing.
Every single veteran. They're like, oh, there's going to be a war with Russia. How can I get over there? Do the Ukrainians want someone? Do they want a deaf, brain damaged 40-something who can't shoot? Do they want me?
Is the preschool down the street talking shit? Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's load it up. But anyways, go ahead.
So it got to the point to where I got out. I was severely physically injured, and I was trying to get back, mentally and physically. And I got into an adaptive sports program, which is where I started teaching snowboarding, which is what I still do now. Well, now that the resorts are back open. But anyway, so I got into these organizations to start finding a sense of longing. And you go from organization to organization sometimes to figure out what suits best for you as well as what you can give back, until I got back to North Carolina and I found Irreverent Warriors. That got me to the point to where I realized that we're all aware of veteran suicide. That is beyond the point.
Yeah, everybody knows about it.
It's the action. And the action was what this organization was about. And that is what drew me to it. And that is what kept me into it. Now, going beyond there, you realize that I'm not just going to come to a hike and just hike around and hopefully meet people. I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more. I wanted to be the action that we talk about, discuss about, dream about. And that's what I do. And I continue to lead these hikes to this day.
Yeah.
And what got me a part of that was a longtime friend who's now no longer part of the organization. You know, sometimes it just passes through, but some of us continue on, which therefore in turn led me to meeting you.
Yeah.
So being a part of something that allows me to give my voice and my actions a purpose, that is the whole reason why I do what I do.
Because we can't stop. Veterans have this thing where it's like, you could serve for 2 years. You could serve for a year. I have a friend who served for like 2 weeks and he fell off an obstacle course. The upside down thing shattered his femur, and he's still actively engaged with veterans. I mean, it's this weird fraternity of brothers and sisters where we're like, hey, do you know what? At one point we were at the shittiest place you could possibly be. We would all go back there in a heartbeat. And if you find yourself in a shitty place, we are going to be back there with you, and we're going to pull you out of it. Oh, yeah. And there's something that I think veterans, and I forgot to bring this up when I was talking about what 21 Gun is. 21 Gun not only gives veterans a voice, but it also tries to explain what veterans do to civilians. So not that we do to civilians, but, you know, civilians are like,
a lot to civilians.
why do these guys have, like, they'll talk shit in front of each other. They will, like, and some of the stuff, I mean, I'm in tears laughing at how brutal veterans are to each other. But behind their backs, they will defend them till death. They're like, oh, these guys are, you know, and civilians are exactly the opposite. They'll talk nice to your face, and then behind your back talk nothing but shit.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest differences, I think. So yeah, that's another thing with 21 Gun is you can watch the show and say, oh, that's why my uncle likes to just go up into the woods and live there for months at a time and only shows up at Thanksgiving, because we're just a kind of a weird group of people. And when we're done with our service, the majority of the time, not all the time, majority of the time, you're just kind of, thanks for serving. See you later. I hope these drugs help. And it's like, I don't know. Here's another question I'm going to ask. Why dark humor?
So, like coffee, dark coffee, it goes down the best. For one, and two,
Jeremy loves taking dark things down the best.
That's why he's here. We'll find out why. So, when you get down to the dark humor, a lot of people think of humor as like, oh, I told a dad joke. That's great. The amount of history that goes into service, the amount of trauma and action, things that you go through, those things tend to become normal. You become desensitized to death, destruction, pain, depression, etc. That all becomes the norm. And what do we do when things that we're comfortable about? We joke about it.
Yeah.
Now, to me, there's nothing off the table. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's dead babies. I don't care if it's
we laugh.
I mean, I'm not kidding, man. Even I'm gonna talk even things down to as far. Okay, well, that'll get us canceled.
I don't know if we can get canceled anymore off of this pod, but you know what? I mean, let's just leave it at dead babies.
Yeah, we'll leave it at dead babies.
That'll be the limit.
It does go beyond that.
We'll set
the dead babies are the fucking limit.
It does go beyond that for me.
It does,
but it's to the point to where, because I've lost a child as a young person who was a young man at the time who was just gotten married. We had a miscarriage. You go through these certain levels of trauma, and you find out what's the best way to grieve. Humor. Because if you can laugh about it, you can move on. If you sulk about it, you stay where you're at and you sink down to that pit and we become another statistic.
Yeah. And laughter is something we all experience, right? We can all be shitty, or we can all laugh our asses off about something.
Oh, completely, like joining the Air Force.
Do you know what's a great book? And I hate to plug it because the dude is...
Let's see what you did there.
I did not see. I am... Did I just say Nazi? Okay, let's move along. Frank, this is Frank's our third mic. He's the newest member of the crew. Former bomb guy. I like to call him Hurt Locker. In the flesh. EOD. Hurt Locker.
Don't do the Hurt Locker.
Frank
Easterling. Hurt your locker.
Don't do the Hurt Locker.
Frank's role. Let's be honest. We had to fill the minority quota, and
I am okay with that.
Sometimes Jeremy.
I am okay with that.
Sometimes Jeremy will say some questionable things, and it's like having a insurance. You know, we can go, hey, look, we have one in the studio. I joke. Here, actually, let's start with that. Do you hate that the humor always has to go to race?
No.
It doesn't always go to race. I got to admit.
No.
It doesn't. But it goes there more than it should.
It does. And it doesn't bother me only because I'm used to, if you'll tell by my voice, I don't use a lot of ebonics. I'm used to being one of a few or one of the only ones in a certain group or sect or anything like that. So no, the whole race thing doesn't bother me, mainly because if you continue to, like, if you make everything about race, then it's going to be about race.
Right.
And if everything is racist, then nothing is racist.
Right.
So my thing is, if it goes there, then let it go there. It's not, I know who I am and what I'm all about. So why would I let it bother me?
Sure. Sure.
Why? Makes no.
Not many black guys in EOD.
No. For several reasons. So there's not a lot of black guys in EOD for a couple. One, you have to look at schooling. Mm-hmm. So when you look at schooling, you got to say to yourself, okay, what's the schooling like for a lot of the inner cities?
Yeah, because you got to be smart as shit to
it's pretty
dismantle
shitty.
bombs.
Yeah, the schooling or the education level is pretty shitty for most inner cities. Mm-hmm. So one, their GT score, which is the main quotient, has to be at least 1.5 or 110, isn't that high.
Okay.
That's the first reason.
Right.
The second reason, you're not going to tell Jerome to go near something that's about to blow the fuck up.
No,
you gotta be a special type of retarded to say, hey, that thing over there is going to blow up. Go take care of it. All right.
Let's be honest. It's just cutting green wires, isn't it? Green wire or red wire? Which one is it? That's the question.
Okay, so I
first to die. You got to make the choice.
I think it comes down to something you normally see on like a YouTube video, like, "Oh, stupid white people! Why would you go do that shit? That's the shit that we would do." Like, that's the why would let the white boy do it?
That is a white person. You are the whitest black guy I know. Now that you say that,
I've heard that a lot. Now, so when you look, so me personally, just looking at me, outside of being brown, bearded, and beautiful, outside of all of that,
he's a chocolate god.
Outside of that, I've always been that weird kid. I've always been that kid that's been on the outside or not acting like how you expect me to act. From
white,
my political views being conservative, from choosing not to speak, slang and use ebonics and stuff like that, choosing to be a fucking nerd and watch anime and play video games.
God, I can't get into anime. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you guys. I'm like, what am I seeing? What is this?
That's because we know you actually get turned on by it.
I don't know what. I don't know. Don't they do those like a little?
Oh my god!
And then it's like just some dude.
And that's how you know he's watching the wrong shit.
I'm not watching any shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was a kid, there was this show about like battleships in outer space. I don't remember.
Robotech.
No. I actually found it like not long ago. No, I was a kid. It was like probably 84. And
did it have 8 tentacles?
I still even hear the song. No tentacle porn. See all that shit? I don't understand. I don't get it.
See, I went tentacles, but there's shows that are not porn that involve tentacles and aliens, and you went right to porn.
I don't understand any of it. Well, because it's all porn in my book.
Oh my!
I look at it and I go, how can I fuck that?
That's the Marine's job.
Porn.
Hold on.
Oh, so that's the Marine's job.
Yeah. How can I fix that? That's what I meant to say. Interesting note. Frank just came from Vegas for his birthday.
I did.
Apparently, it was like a Make-A-Wish situation because he's so old. He's so old. They're like, "What do you want to do before you die?" And he's like,
"Again, Kevin, you're not that much younger than I am,
but I am younger, and that's the beauty of the whole thing."
Fair enough.
You're much grayer.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm at the point though. Well, no, I dye my beard. I'm flat out. I admit it everywhere I go.
I can't do it.
Santa Claus.
Look at all the white on the side of the
yeah.
Man, let's go.
I am 100% Santa Claus.
Let it go, dude.
Can't do it.
I wish mine would go all white. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, not even remotely. I think at some point, someone once told me, this is all you have to do is tell, like, stroke my ego. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I can try it. Someone's like, I was at a Burbiz event, and this person's like, dude, you would look really good. Blue eyes, white beard, and all this. It was a gay guy. And I was like, okay, I could do that.
So Gandalf.
I don't care. I'm not gay, but I mean, if a gay guy says I'm hot, then I'm going to go with it.
If it gives you a free drink, a free drink.
We all know this gay guy too, but
it's a mustache. It's a mustache.
We won't blow up his position there. So that's it, folks. That's who we are. That's not it for the show. We're going to get into a little bit of what we do, but that's who the members of 21 Gun are. We are a live show. Typically, I'm not sure how we're going to work this one out. Hopefully, it'll be a regular thing. The format is usually we get into some stories. We bring on somebody. We have a couch over here, kind of like on the Opie and casting. I didn't mean to say that. On the Anthony Compound Media Show,
Casting couch.
there's a, what do you call that?
Casting couch?
Well, there is a casting couch over there. You guys can't see it. There's this black couch with stains. The white stains on that couch, mind you, are my dogs chewing on the what are those not the balls, the rawhide, and then it gets all over there. So you see this black couch with just white jizz all over
And
it.
he's been keeping Frank on that couch for how long?
Actually, if you go back to old, it's like just
weeks.
go sit over there. It's like the back of the bus of the studio. Anyway, see, we always have to go there. We always have to go there.
I'm all right with it.
Afterwards, he's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny bit. So, anyways, we have people come in studio. Literally, and we have folks pipe in from wherever. We do all sorts of interviews. In fact, the first interview show that we have planned for you guys is with the Broken Jarheads. Strap in for these guys or on, and actually you're not very far off for that.
With crayons,
they are
of course.
freaking hysterical. And for all you guys who don't know, Jarheads are Marines, and good guest. He's going to come on the next show that we do for Compound Media.
Nice.
So now let's get into our stories. What we like to do is comment. We kind of sound like just the angry old veterans, which is really what we are. None of us are young at all. He might think he is, but he's closer to death than I think
He's the more broken of the three of us anyway.
He absolutely is. In so many ways.
He's like the youngest and the most broken.
Make-A-Wish should be over here.
Right.
We're going to see Jeremy in like a helmet on the back of a horse.
No, just call me Bubble Boy at this point. Without a bubble.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Let's see. Let's go with our first story. Frank, I wouldn't recommend going to China anytime soon. Not only do I think that we're about to get fucking nuked by China, here we are just hanging around doing our thing, and China sends this, what is it called? Hypersonic nuclear tipped missile. Did you see this? Yeah, it was like, so it's like this, they call it a hypersonic missile. I thought all missiles were, I don't know this shit. I just flew antique airplanes, literally antique airplanes. But these, this missile stays like in sub-orbit, and then within seconds it nukes something near it. So normally like what you would see is a nuke being launched, and then like all the NORAD people start, I saw the movie, what was that movie with, War Games. Remember War Games? They're all in the bunker.
With Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, so they see that shit.
Movie.
They see the missile launch, and then they launch back. This thing stays in suborbit. We don't even see it. It like flies up there, goes around.
It's got what's called a loitering charge.
Yes, and then they go, oh, we want to nuke DC. And then within
the
3
commands to
seconds,
it.
DC's gone.
Yeah,
And then we're like, oh, shit. So they do this a few weeks ago. Or actually, it was a few months ago. Here's the beauty of it. America was like, holy shit, did you see that? I don't know what the fuck that was. Now, maybe they're playing. Maybe they're just bluffing that they didn't know or see anything like that. But I don't know. Anyways, so China, Russia, all this crazy shit going on. I wouldn't recommend going there. We talk a lot about. Actually, we don't. But in general, America at this point in time is talking a lot about racism, and they're trying to make
Every day.
They're trying to make basically everything we do, you order a Big Mac, that's racist somehow, and they're trying to convince a whole generation of kids that they're living in the South in 1955, right? They are. And
True.
I'll be the first to admit, man, I've seen Driving Miss Daisy. That's the
Great movie.
It's a great movie, but Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
the South was freaking racist back in the 1950s. Actually, everywhere was, right? Everywhere was. They're trying to convince people that that's where America is now. Politicians have literally convinced people every single day, and they're doing it more. Like, I think you're Gen X. I'm Gen X. I don't know what he is. He's like
The borderline millennial at best.
he's a millennial. Okay, so we grew up. At least I did. It was like we had our grandparents, and our grandparents, that was the racist generation. And they were like, their kids were like, you know what, that's a little fucked up. Let's change that. Let's march. Let's do all this shit. They all got their heads caved in. And then eventually Civil Rights Act and all this stuff, and things changed. And then our parents said, hey, do you know what? Who cares what Frank down the street looks like? If you make fun of him because of what he looks like, I'm going to beat your ass. It's all about who people are in their heart, who they are as character, right? It's character over content, character over color of skin. Beautiful. Generation X, for the most part, was down with that. And then this new generation comes in, and I think they want to be victimized. I don't know.
No. They 100% want to be victimized to the point to where they're reversing literally everything. All the progress that was made has been 100% reversed. You have black students begging and asking for separate areas.
Yeah. Like separate graduations and
So
separate
they're trying to literally bring back
segregation.
Segregation.
So yes, there was a recent story that just happened. I think it was I'm not sure if it's the University of Arizona, where there were two female students that approached two. There's a male student that had a Back the Blue sticker. He had a Chick-fil-A
I
cup
saw
and
that.
something else.
I saw
and they
that.
came up screaming, "You're in the multicultural center. You need to leave. We feel uncomfortable." And they're like, "We're just doing homework."
Yeah.
Like, what do
I
you
saw
like?
that.
And they were screaming racism. They lied about it, and they went to the school board to get these kids removed. And these girls also got freaking
they got in trouble.
They got in a lot of trouble.
Because guess what? When you exclude someone from something based solely on the color of their skin, that's called racism.
It's almost like they just said, "Oh my God, don't be racist towards us. Let's be racist towards you. Only you can."
Here's a perfect example of that. We're kind of getting in the weeds on this, but the woman who is, I think there's some ice over there too, Frank, if you want a little bit more. I don't know. I gave a lot of the ice to my dog. One of the women who was raising hell with that was like 35 years old. I might be making that up. She might be 31. There's your first issue. She's been in the college world for how long at that point? 12 years.
Way too long.
Just getting totally. I wish you guys could see off camera. Jeremy is telling the only black man in studio to get him not only some booze, as we're talking about racism. He's making him serve him here. Put the camera. Do the widescreen. I don't know if the big widescreen. He's as I'm trying to talk. Jeremy's sitting here pointing to different bottles and pointing to. Is there any ice left over there?
Well, the ice is over there.
I'm getting the ice.
I'm controlling everything.
I have
But because I want to.
because he wants to, not because he's told. But anyway, so
Thank you.
We digress. So check this out. Anyways, basketball fans in China. Yellowing. I did not
use
just
your
say
fingers.
that. I did not just fucking say that. I fucking just said
Yes,
that.
you did. Just use your fingers.
Yelling racist slurs at ex-NBA player. Is it Sonny Weems? Jeremy, pull up this video here. Tell me if this is subtle racism that you find in America here. There it is, right there.
Oh my God.
Strap in,
stand by.
kids. Strap
Stand
in.
by.
That's a hard R.
It's like Seagar, but with an N.
Maybe they're saying Uyghur, the people that they're.
No, because that's a hard
Genocide.
N, hard R. So that's China.
Oh my God.
What's bad is when they actually finally see him, then they go all in.
Do they really?
So,
Oh yeah.
So
They're
they're subtle with it when he's on the bus, and then when he gets off the bus,
look at that. Look
they
at that. What is that?
so he's on the bus now. So now he's on the bus, and they're just saying it.
320p with their stupid Huawei, whatever those freaking cameras are.
Now wait for him to get off the bus. You see they're gonna ramp it up.
Okay.
Wait for it.
Oh yeah, he went right. You watched this. You were like,
They
I gotta.
ramped it up. Wow. Now,
So that, ladies and
ironically, you've heard nothing from LeBron James about this one.
You didn't. He didn't say anything.
Not a word.
Not a fucking peep.
Wow. I like to call him
Because
King
he knows
James.
everything, remember?
I like to call him King James.
You ever notice how when you look at LeBron, he's reading a book, he's always on the first page of every fucking book he's reading?
And it's always like, I think the one that was on the video clip, it was like Malcolm X's
Oh yeah.
something.
And he's like, "Well, I just started." So
everything I just. This is what my PR person put in my hand before I sat down to talk to you guys.
Exactly.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you gave LeBron James a book, he'd probably stay on the first page and wouldn't get past the bibliography.
I hate that he's kind of a good actor, though. I hate
No,
that.
no, the new Space Jam was horrible.
Stop.
Oh no,
Don't
I didn't see that.
You stop it.
No, I'm talking
You
about
stop
there
it
was some
now.
comedy he was on that was.
Not
it.
even.
I laughed a
stop it
little
now.
bit.
You stop
What
it
the
now.
hell was it?
I
I'll
don't-
stop.
stop
I'll
it.
just move on.
I'm gonna look it up for you.
Since we did,
You stop it now. Don't you
Bitch
dare.
James. Oh, LeBron James. Sorry.
should we
like
go
to
into
call
our next
him-
story? Let's go into our next
I
story
like to call him LaFlop.
because I got a lot to say about this one.
I like to call him LaFlop.
Jeremy, play the. Let's start with you just playing the video file that I sent you.
Oh man. Let's
and
go
do you know
right
what?
into
Don't
that.
say anything at all. Just watch it and absorb this for a minute. Speaking
I-
of self-absorbed,
You didn't show me this one on purpose. Did you want to get my? Oh, what the fuck is that?
that is a beautiful man. Okay, wait, just listen.
You
shared the audio with us.
Yes, I sure did.
I'm a
Here we go.
pregnant trans man, and I am 21 weeks pregnant, and this is what my belly is looking like. I'm going to turn to both sides, and it is also 33 3/4 inches across. This is a question I'm sure I'm going to be getting a lot, but basically, my partner and I are both transgender, and we decided it would be the easiest way for us to have a kid. We did talk
Was to
about
put a penis in a vagina?
Yes.
That was the easiest way they figured out.
So
Wait.
I did something I thought I would never do. I got pregnant.
You're a,
So to quote, so it's,
let's unpack, as they say, as the liberals say, let's unpack this one frame at a time.
so
Go ahead, Frank.
to, that's just gay with extra steps.
I don't even. So look at it's actually completely heterosexual.
It's exactly. It's like it's
completely heterosexual.
So it's a heterosexual relationship with extra steps. So the dude wanted to be a woman, and the woman wanted to be a dude.
This is where it gets confusing, but yes, keep going.
So they switched,
Hold on, let me get out the lube.
and then they said
Ram
we
it
want to
home.
have a kid. So let's have sex.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's like your wife
So
getting
the
a penis and
woman-
you getting a vagina.
So the woman,
When you say
with
quote, you mean man.
Yes.
so
See,
the
this is where it gets confusing.
So the woman with the elongated clitoris
Yes, that shoots semen
With a
Yes,
very short penis,
got you.
one of the two.
Okay.
had sex with the man that had way too much of a hole,
Yes, a big hairy
and
bush.
with,
I
that
think
just
is what you're
happened to
saying.
have ovaries.
Basically, her penis looks like your mouth and beard,
Right, fair,
Yo.
fair,
Very wide. Very wide.
fair.
or mine. I don't
And
call my-
I'm more of a '70s bush.
yeah,
Or it's new age. Or it's new age.
I'm a-
yeah, or it's Jeremy, like a
And then
baby's
they
bottom.
decided to have conventional sex. I assume missionary because they look a little prudish.
would.
And then they, whatever pronouns they were on nowadays, dear God, now they are pregnant. So the woman, man, is pregnant,
Yes. Yes.
and the father, woman, is.
Yeah. Don't look at
Head
you're
just
going down.
exploded.
Let me explain something. here for a minute. As a medical provider,
Drink
we
more
won't
whiskey.
get into this. We won't. This isn't my podcast persona, but I might be a medical provider in the real world. I might write prescriptions and things like that, legally, of course.
It's possible.
It's happened.
Gender dysphoria is
It's a
very
made-up
real.
term.
Well, no. Look at this is how I'll say it. We might argue on this. It's very real, and this is why I know it's real.
Okay.
Schizophrenia.
Okay.
Are you mixing Coca-Cola with like a fine bourbon?
I did 4 Roses.
Wait, you mixed it too?
I did.
Holy Jesus,
Okay, if
Marines.
we're gonna be going for this for a while, bro, and the amount that I could actually drink, I'm gonna take my
Yeah,
time.
we got to take
It's
our
like
time.
they
on
have
this
to
one.
mix everything.
It's
whereas
almost like some of
us
us
Air
actually
Force-
got blown
We
up.
got to take
and-
our time on
us
this one,
Air
right?
Force pilots, navigators go, I noticed that there's an oaky
Oh, dude.
vanilla. Okay, anyways, so gender dysphoria. Imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up and you're a woman, right? You're a woman, and you have to dress as a woman. You'd be like, I'm not going to wear a friggin' dress because you're a dude, right? You're a dude. So if tomorrow all your closet was filled with dresses and lipstick and whatever else women put on, you walk in there and you're like, I have to put this shit on, right? You would be miserable. That's how these people think. And I'll say it, and I think this is truly, and I might be wrong here, but schizophrenic. I had an uncle who was schizophrenic. He had a dog named Bear. The bear was never around, but he was always there, and he would pet him, and he would be like, "Oh," he was from Michigan, and he had like a cowboy
figure.
accent, and he'd be like, "Yeah, check out my dog Bear," and I was like, "Yeah," and I was a kid, and I was like, "This guy's funny. He's got an imaginary dog." But in the empathetic, I don't know if that's the right word, but the empathetic side of me looks at that and says, holy shit, this guy thinks he has a giant dog with him every day. That's got to be either terrifying or very confusing because no one else sees it. I think these people are organically in the same realm. They wake up and they truly don't believe that they are a man or a woman. They are the opposite sex.
That's because they go into the whole like, if there's difference between sex and gender. It's what you think.
No. Now look at that's gender dysphoria, which is probably, I looked it up. It's like 0.002% of the population, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody, right? A few people have it, but not that many people.
So let me.
The rest, though, wait, listen. The rest of the people, like it's a white kid, like this person here, right? She wakes up. She's got, I don't know. She's like, you know what? I'm freaking boring. I am so, no one gives a shit about me. My friend in high school, Taisha, she was black and she got to, play the race card or something. Or my other friend, Billy, was gay and he got to play the game. I'm boring. I'm nothing except I'm actually a man. And now suddenly you go from being nothing to you are now an oppressed individual. And now you get to go on TikTok and be like, hey, I cut my tits off and now I'm pregnant. And
that's called victimhood.
Yeah. And that's what I think. So there's two, I think, so basically if you can't smell what I'm stepping in, there's two categories. There's the people that are organically seriously fucked up in the head and they think they're the opposite sex and life has got to be miserable for those people, versus those who wake up and say, God damn, am I boring? I'm oppressed today. I can be a female or whatever this person is.
I agree with you 100%. And I'll even add on to that to say what I believe it also is with that is what they did was they saw a glimmer of, oh, that's really fucking cool. Let me get some of that. And they appropriated that issue. So someone heard the word gender dysphoria, looked it up, Googled it, and says, well, I think I have that too.
WebMD.
Yep.
Here's the difference, though.
And then it just got widespread.
Here's the difference.
Like herpes.
Black culture. Here's the difference, though. Trans culture, there's no trans culture, right? And when you said that's cool, what I'm thinking is she looked at her black friends and said, they're oppressed, they're cool, that culture's cool, I want to be
Let's
like
make
that.
our own, yeah.
They don't have a culture, right? Everyone loves freaking rap music and
I'm going to stop you there again.
Spike Lee movies.
I'm going to stop you there again, especially now in modern days. And this may get me my black card, what little one I have left.
You have no black card.
Black people are not oppressed.
Yeah, not anymore.
We're not oppressed.
Not the white guy.
No, we're not even fucking oppressed. We're not oppressed. There's literally nothing a black person can't do in today's society.
Hold on. Didn't we just have a black president?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, he was as much white as he was black.
Well, his wife's more black than he is. But yeah.
The reason why I brought up this story is another thing, too, is people putting their so we said it was 0.002% or whatever the stupid number is. People are putting their pronouns. I'm starting to see it at my kid's school. I'll get an email from a teacher and it's her, his, her, whatever. I think what I personally think about that is we having a little camera issue there?
No, I was making sure.
Oh, okay. Here's what I think as far as that goes. We are in an age where you can profess your political standpoint, like the Nazi swastika armbands, right?
Yeah.
Now it's masks.
Yep.
Now it's putting your pronouns out.
Yep.
Now it's saying
and
all
pussy
this
hats.
stuff is a way. Pussy hats. All this is ways of saying that I am. Look at me. I'm a good German. I'm a good Nazi. Right? It's 100% that. And even with the vaccines, I think they're going to come up with a way to say, "Hey, look at me. I'm vaccinated," but they can't because they're all wearing masks. And I don't know.
No, it's called a vaccination card. Look, they're all over New York right about now.
Well, not just that. It's social media. Now people are having it on their Facebook.
Oh, you mean like having a social score? Like in Black Mirror?
Yes, thank you. You beat me to it.
That's in my notes. That's in my notes. Yeah.
I figured that's where you were going.
You're going
eventually,
into
but yeah, that's where we're going.
not just that, but even dating profiles, vaccinated, proudly vaxxed. It's like even stuff like that. Instagram, TikTok. It's little
Yeah, put a little circle thing.
Little badges.
Let's move on. I want to talk about something that is obviously a hot topic. Is trans in the military, right? Here's the thing, and I looked up stats. I always talk about stats. I don't talk without actually looking at data behind it. It's just what I am in the real world. I'm a scientist. It's what I do.
Yep.
You are, I believe the number is 50% more likely to kill yourself. It's like between 40 and 60% of trans people kill themselves, no matter what. If they put on, if they act like a woman, if they take the hormones, if they cut off their dick, if they do whatever they do, it's still
the worst case of buyer's remorse on the
I know. You're like, I cut my cock off and I'm not happy.
Fuck.
It's like
I really didn't want to do this.
take every dude's worst nightmare and do it on purpose. How many?
Yes.
Let's add this little veteran thing to it. How many people have been blown up? And what's the first thing they ask the corpsman in your situation?
Is my dick okay?
Is my dick okay?
Yeah.
And the corpsman's job is to grab a dick and go, yeah, it's still
I've
there.
literally asked that question 3 times, and I had the one corpsman literally reach down and grab my junk and say, "You feel that?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're good."
Do you remember we had?
No, I don't feel it. Keep going.
Do you remember? Do you remember we had that guy on? I wish I could remember his name. John Peck? Was it
Yes.
John
Yes.
Peck?
John Peck, the quadruple.
Yeah. So this
quadruple.
dude, check out, go over to 21 Gun. You got to spell it out, 21gun.net, and just go into the past episodes. This guy was a Marine. He stepped on a landmine, lost both his legs and both his arms. Same thing. He asked, "Hey doc, is my cock still there?" Yes, it is. The dude's bleeding out without arms and legs, and that's the first thing he thinks of. He also, and this is the part that's fucked up, he said, like, I think I remember the story. It was a couple days prior. He said, if I ever lose my arms and my legs, let me bleed out. And,
Yes.
And the corpsman was like, should I let him bleed out? And he's like, I'm glad he didn't.
Well, I mean, you have that moment of like, I have literally nothing left to use
Yeah, that's rough.
other than me laying there and taking it.
Do you
Why would
remember-
I want to keep going? I
He
get
loves
it.
to lay there and take it. Do you remember the Metallica 1, that video? Where all he is he's got nothing. He's got no arms, no legs. His face is like in a mask, and all he has is consciousness. Holy shit, that is
So
terrifying.
every liberal today.
Dude, make me into a bowling ball and just end it, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what he thought, but anyways, he survived. Okay, we're going into the weeds here. So here's the thing: you got 40% chance. You got 40% chance of killing yourself if you are, and it sucks. Look, I'm a medical provider. I don't want people killing themselves. If you think you're a woman, that's I have empathy for you. Let's figure out how to get through life with that. That's honestly how I feel as a medical provider. Same thing as I would with bipolar, schizophrenia, anything like that. I'm not going to tell a schizophrenic who thinks he's got a 6-foot rabbit as a best friend, fuck you, dude. You don't have a 6-foot. No. You're going to go, okay, let's figure out what to do with this. But I'm also not going to sit there and buy that rabbit a Christmas present and friggin' pet the rabbit and go, you know what I mean? I'm
Hold
not
on.
going to play
Have
into
you seen
it.
the movie Night of the Leapas? I'm just saying, it's a great
Sounds like an
old.
anime
It's an old
bullshit
school
thing.
movie back the time around Birds came out. It's basically giant rabbits going around and killing everything.
Actually, now that I actually kind of like that.
It's like
I'm
an
gonna
old
have to check it
Hitchcock
out.
film. or something.
So, yeah, that's what it kind of sounds like. So, anyways, I have empathy for these people. If someone has a 40% chance of committing suicide, you know they are not all there. They're not all there. No matter if they have their shit together, they are a squared away Marine. They have, well, actually, the one I'm thinking of, there's this, I think it's an Air Force. God damn it, Air Force. It's an Air Force security forces. See, I don't know. I was a flyer. I don't know guns. M249. Is that
249 Saw.
the saw? What's on the top of it? Yeah, probably a saw, right on top of the Hummer.
Yeah, either a Saw or a 240 Golf. Either one.
It's more, it better be if you got a saw on the top of a Humvee.
As a
you look
squad weapon, you're
you look like a pussy.
Okay,
That's a
That
5.5.
thing
So
is-
you need the
it's-
240.
Yeah,
Two-
that thing is-
okay. So it's a gun on the top of this thing, and he aren't mans it. It's one of those situations where he
Mounted
is married
9mm.
to a she. They were
Yeah,
both. Did
yeah.
you see? She's like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
It-
Pacific Islander, and then
Yeah.
the one who's the dude is like. Anyways,
She an island girl. Oh, sorry.
when you are, take a break, everyone. I apologize. Okay, so if you are going into a situation where the person next to you is going to ensure that you are going to survive,
Yeah.
Right.
any doubt, if you have any doubt that this person is going to fuck up and get you killed, you're messing with unit cohesion.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah,
So
that's
the,
how people get
the
fragged.
dude who cut his cock off or the woman who takes testosterone shots, you're like, is this person going to have my back? And then second that doubt comes into mind, the second you start thinking
That's it.
already it's gone downhill.
Yep.
Same thing with flying. When we flew an airplane, there were situations, I shit you not, where we had six crew members. All 6 crew members had to be working in perfect time to land that aircraft safely. And those were the best days because you would freaking land in the shittiest of shitty situations and we'd land and we're like, fuck, we all did that, right? If you have any doubt, if you have you're like, I don't know about that pilot, I'm going to second guess everything that she does. Now you've ruined it. You've ruined it. So that's why I think trans shouldn't serve in the military, only because they have the right to live. They have the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do. They don't have the right to put my crew in danger because they're putting a wrench in the works of unit cohesion.
It
That's
also
all.
comes down to mission readiness. It takes years of transformation, years of medication to be completely stable. You cannot be deployable, and can you go through that transition physically, mentally, and then be considered stable? Because now we're thinking, all right, imagine Jeremy going back into the Marine Corps going, hi, I want to cut my cock off, grow some tits, or
Well,
at least get some tits implanted. Well, I probably lost it anyways.
He already has some nice tits. So.
I'm just saying. But the point is, now I have to go through this transition. On top of that, military is paying for it. So that's even worse.
Yeah.
So now your tax dollars are going towards this person's demented mindset. They are unable to keep their mind at a level point because now I don't know what I am.
True story. True story.
Now the thing is, a lot of people will watch this and say, "Oh my God, these guys don't care. Oh, they're transphobe, they're homophobe." No. The majority of everyone
I've seen Bailey J. I mean, all I'm saying is
ever
smash your pass.
that I've ever served with will all tell you damn near the same thing. No one cares.
Yeah.
In the military.
Right.
What you do in your off time, what you want to dress up as, what you want to be, what you believe you are. The only thing we give a shit about, can you do your job?
Yeah. And do you have my fucking back?
Literally
Yeah.
it.
And that goes, I think, across all MOSs, all AFSCs.
The minute you're a little shaky,
Yeah.
I don't care if you gay, straight, purple, fat, skinny, whatever. The minute you're a little bit shaky, a little bit iffy, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you may get me killed. Because at my job, I dealt with explosives for 17 and a half years. And there were times where we'd be on the demo range and I'm like,
Did you retire?
no.
How the fuck? Well, we'll get into that another.
I'd look at a guy that's with us at the demo range. I'd be like, you know what? No, not today. He's off the range, or he's not touching anything, or he's just on range cleanup. He's not touching nothing. He's not doing any blows today.
Well, it happened to me. I had a situation where flying. I make up the story because I don't know what happened. I lost consciousness. We assume long story. The point is, afterwards, the docs were like, "Oh, this guy's got PTSD." They put me on drugs, and they say you can't fly. And already, I'm like, "Well, now my whole unit knows I'm on drugs and I can't fly. I don't want to fly because I don't want to put that on them." And so my commander sat down and he was like, "Look, it's coming down to this. You're either going to get off the drugs and fly or you're not going to fly. What do you want to do?" Well, actually, no, it wasn't even that. It was, if you come off the drugs, you are out of the military. If you stay on the drugs, you can stay in the military, but you can't fly. And I was like,
So now imagine that
both?
applying to what the transgender community is doing now.
Yeah.
Now they're at the point to where they're like, I have to prove myself. I am at a point to where I'm going to do what's best for me.
I think,
despite mission effectiveness, mission readiness, and that gets to a point to where that costs lives.
Yeah.
And then there's the common sense issue of, you want me to accept who you are when you couldn't accept who the fuck you were.
Yeah.
You couldn't accept who you were, but you want me to pretend and accept who you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to play pretend. I'm not an actor.
All right, let's. I think we beat that with as we say to
hard stick.
We just beat it off to the end.
Beat it.
That story blew such a huge load all over. What?
That's why I'm wearing glasses.
Let's
for
keep
protection.
moving on. Let's keep moving on. Okay.
ABE.
So we got a choice here. There's two things. I think I want to go to this one because I want to laugh a little bit after we talked about people cutting their cocks off. Embarrassing firearms and self-defense instructors. Now, here's the first thing I want to say about this, right? We've all seen this. People think, and there's bro vets out there that think this too, right? You are a freaking cook or you're a navigator on C-130s. Listen, I will straight up say, well, no, I was a jiu-jitsu brown belt. So there was a time in my life I could kill you. Now I'm old and my joints hurt and everything. But just because you were in the military, just because you were a cop, just because you were a freaking wrestler in high school, does not mean the theory you come up with in your head that you can stop an assailant and murder them when they have a gun. It's not real. I don't know this guy's background. I don't pretend to know this guy's background. I know he dresses up like he's a cop. Okay, good. We'll talk about it. Detroit.
He's got a crazy background. If you look at his resume, it's extensive.
Is it like ninja in the Japanese Navy? All right, so I don't know much about him. Detroit Urban Survival Training.
Dust.
What's that? Dust.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. So this guy's making the rounds, and he's going
D-U-S-T.
He's going to kill somebody.
Get somebody killed.
That's what I meant. Like his. Okay, just play some of this for us.
Share with you what to do if you're surrounded by a human they attack. So if they come at you, what you don't want to do.
Foot fist way.
Like,
You guys ever see the foot fist way? Yeah.
Stop. No, guys, stop.
No one is punching him in the face.
You are gonna die if that many people are coming at. Just if they have knives, you're gonna die. That's what
no one is punching him in the face. No one is punching him in the face.
This is like bitch slap.
What you should do.
This is what you should do.
Here's what you should do. Here you go. Cupid shuffle.
Oh, get around.
Cupid shuffle.
Get around.
Cupid shuffle. Cupid shuffle.
Oh, look at
Cupid shuffle.
All he's doing is
To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
And look, he's gonna survive.
You're able to attack each attacker individually.
No. Here's the thing, dude. All right, listen. When you're doing that little move, someone's stabbing you in the neck, and then they're gonna take your fucking.
He's doing a
wallet.
stanky leg.
share with you today some ways that you can increase your survivability. If someone grabs you from the side, bear hugging you.
Is it wrong that I'm trying to figure out how much hair product he has in his head?
Around the heel here.
Judging by the amount of hair product in my head, yes.
The amount of bullshit with the amount of knives and bats and shit behind him is like,
Oh,
I
the
can
foam
figure this
bats.
out.
Yeah.
Take your leg.
What was there was a movie where is it Foot Fist Way? What's the one where the guy's like, "Good at urban defense, whatever." And what was it was the one with Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. Fucking I know what you're talking about.
So there's a couple things I want to bring up with this. One of them is, why are people allowed to legally do this? Like, is he offering anything to the world? And I'll preface that he's offering pure comedy gold.
Yes. Oh, yes, he is. 100%.
100%.
But when he gets someone killed, like what does he have? Like what responsibility does he have? And can
Absolutely
anyone go
none.
after him?
Just like COVID, you took the opportunity. You signed the waiver.
So here's the thing. It's okay. One, it's in Detroit.
right.
So let's put that. Let's preface it that it's in Detroit.
It's like you're gonna die anyways.
so you're already fucking dead.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, not only is it in Detroit, so he's doing it on a YouTube thing, whatever, but whoever is in Detroit and sanctioned all of this, because he's got a whole website.
He's got
all
everything.
he's
Like,
got
it's a legit
credentials.
martial arts?
Yeah, he's passed off as a legit, like Jeet Kune Do. He's combining judo, Jeet Kune Do, all these other different disciplines, Krav Maga, all into his
His own thing.
special.
He's got cut off gloves though,
Gobbledygook.
which makes him automatically slightly tougher than anyone on the street.
And a medium shirt.
So he did a video, and I don't think he knew that he was being made fun of.
Oh, really?
With Master Ken.
I don't know.
So
yeah. I've seen that guy.
The guy,
Yeah, yeah.
the super like
With the us.
Yeah, yeah.
with the- yeah.
Can you find that, Jeremy? See if you can
Oh,
find
yeah.
that.
So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he knew he was being made fun of.
So to put in like Detroit urban survival and Master Ken.
and Master Ken did a whole video with him, because I was like, oh, this is some guy, portraying
he fell
to
for
be
it?
him. But no, it's really him and Master Ken.
Well, what's great, the only thing I say that he adds to society at this point is
It's
the fact
pure
that
comedy gold.
is the fact that now we have things to make fun of. And I think what I was getting in to tie it in with the veterans is, just because you were a veteran, just because I went to combat, just because you went to combat doesn't mean you're some friggin' Steven Seagal, which he's probably not legit either, but doesn't mean you're some freaking, who was the other guy from the 80s? Van something. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, talking about Billy Blanks?
No,
not
the
Billy
guy
Blanks.
who could always do the splits.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, who, by the way, is so self-aware.
Yep,
Okay,
there he
here it
is. That's literally him and Master Ken.
So Master Ken, so the perfect thing to preface with this is, on the right, he's making fun of the guy on the left. And
Right.
look at how they're dressed.
And at the same time, now, legitimately, now Master Ken actually does have martial arts skill.
Does he really?
He does, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But he
yeah.
does the parody stuff for fun.
That's
but he
awesome.
actually does have so
these
Ken
two-
is
look at these two
making
dad
fun
bods.
of the other guy, but the other guy doesn't
Place known for
realize
two
it.
things. Rapping with your daughters and crapping in the water. Today we are here with Dusty Bottoms.
Commander Brown.
Commander
He's a
Brown,
commander?
tell us what system of
self-proclaimed.
Urban survival tactics from Detroit.
What are you going to
From
be showing
Detroit.
us today?
I'm going to say that the guy on the left is in on the joke. I keep forgetting his name. Dusty Bottoms?
Can you be more specific?
You're going to be learning today gun disarms that work in the real world. You'll be able to disarm guns and knives from our training center today.
All right. So we're
Here's the
gonna
thing.
see
Pause for a
his,
second. Here's the thing. If someone comes at you with a gun, you're fucked. There's no getting out. If he's got his gun on you, assume that he's got a round chambered and he has the drop. Be like, okay, where am I going to suck your dick? Because apparently
If
that's
it's-
what we're about to do.
if
Like,
it's- if
anything
he's
he wants to
smart.
Man,
do,
I
you're
just
his,
got asked for my wallet.
you're his bitch.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and but it also, well, a lot, it depends on like the assailant, like who, like that has a gun. How skilled is he? Is he nervous? Is he scared?
Do you remember? I don't mean to interrupt. Look this up. Remember that Marine that disarmed the guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
just
he
no
was some
fucks
pogue
given.
too. He was some, for the listeners, a pogue is like a rear end,
Yeah.
like a guy who does not know
Pogue
combat.
person other than grunt.
Yeah. So, anyways, sorry, continue.
So so the assailant, if the assailant like has any skills with the gun, is he trained, or is he just some punk that got a gun, doesn't really know what he's doing, and he's just as scared as you are?
And that's actually, I would
And that's
suggest,
worse.
I would say it's
because
worse, because now you got an itchy
he's
trigger.
sitting there shaking,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and yeah, he's able to shoot you and like 12 other people.
A nervous
know what's going
person
on.
with their finger on the trigger, an itchy trigger. I said trigger. I said trigger
With yeah. Sorry, yeah, with a hard
with a
R.
hard. All right, let's see this. So this guy, look at this dad bod. He's like us. This guy basically could be sitting right in Frank's seat right now.
This is me, but this guy's cooler.
He's like, fuck.
He's
you.
like, nope, done.
Nope, not today. Not today.
You know what that is? I'm gonna say this.
That's a complete fuck it moment.
That's a guy that's like, do you know what? I've been shit on for the last year of my life, and I don't care.
Yep.
Kill me.
I
Kill
think
me,
I think
please.
it also comes down to a point of like, at what point do you just say fuck it? You're like, you know what? Either I'm gonna die or this dude's gonna give it up.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed, especially with a lot of these crimes lately, either someone is it's a 50-50 chance they're gonna pull the trigger, or B, they're so scared and unsure what they're gonna do, whether they quickly contemplate the fucking
pull up your camera so people can see your beautiful eyes.
Oh my lord.
Oh, they can't.
They can't.
Oh man,
There you
it's
go.
almost
I'm
like
trying to multitask.
I hide
Jeremy
these
right here.
dark bags for a reason because they've seen some shit, i.e., my own self in the
When
mirror.
he says dark bags, he means the bag between his legs. That is actually very not dark.
I finally see it. But it gets to the point to where like they're going to pull the trigger or they're not. And
Right.
when you get to that point, are you going to be like, all right, I'm going to be like the Detroit urban guy and be like, I'm going to, or are you going to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. And it's either I'm dying or you are.
Well, luckily, people have made videos about how this would really turn out. Jeremy, can you bring up some of these? This is
this is the best.
this is really good, actually.
Man.
This is the best.
So the yeah. So
Okay, here's
it gets to the point to where like at
this
what
one made me
point-
laugh. This one made me laugh a little bit.
I'm loving the beard though.
On the survival urban trading. See, the way that worked was. Let's go again.
Can you even have those guns in
The way it
Great
works is
Britain?
you dodge it and grab the bullets.
Nah.
Then you want
Is
to
that Tic Tac?
Look at
Was that Tic Tac?
might have been.
He gave him again.
He does the slap thing. God, do you know what?
Believe in? Gun button.
Do you know what I love about what is social media? Is there are some fucking funny people out there. There are some.
He's not
funny.
serious. He's not serious.
Ready? He's 100% right. Oh, wait, keep showing. I want to see this one.
This is the one we just watched.
Oh, okay. I want to see what the funny version of it is.
Should do is this.
Is do the dance.
Yep. Little Cupid shuffle.
But then it
getting
goes
stabbed.
it
You're
goes
getting
into what the person makes fun of him about. Yep.
Little Cupid shuffle.
Not want to do this. You don't. All right, you asked for it.
It's a little guy too.
It's an Asian guy. Hate crime. Go figure.
Hey crime. Hey crime.
All right, we could pull that down. Oh my God, that was funny. Thank you for bringing that. I don't know which one of you brought that article to the thing, but
So I did. So well, that was, and then there was that one last video I showed
yeah.
of him actually in studio.
Oh yeah, this guy he went to his class
And-
signed
and-
up for his class and actually took another video of him proving that it was wrong.
So at every point that in these videos you see is you see this guy, the Detroit urban guy, can't remember his freaking name, Brown, whatever.
Dusty Bottoms, I
Dusty
believe, is what
Bottoms.
Master
Yep,
Ken
that's
called
right.
him.
So he's got the pistol ready to go, and every time he goes to do it, it's like, all right, he goes to do some kind of fancy move, and he always wants the person with the gun to stay where he's at.
yeah, to go with it,
To
right?
go, to prove his point. Now, somebody decided it was funny to go there, and I got to show you this.
All right,
I can already tell you by the T-shirt.
he just pulls it away and shoots him.
I can already tell you by the T-shirt. That guy's prior military.
First time shoots him twice. Second time shoots him once.
That's funny, and he's jacked.
So at that point in time, like, who thought it was freaking funny as hell to be like, all right, in Detroit, if someone pulls a gun on you and he gives you the hard R, do you go for it? No, don't move. I'm trying to take the gun from you, sir.
Yeah. No,
And
it's
again,
never.
if you're
It's
in
never
Detroit,
reality.
someone's definitely gonna pull a gun.
It's gonna happen.
It's
Awesome.
gonna happen.
Guys, we're at the hour mark. That was a beautiful episode. Beautiful time spent next to beautiful people. I don't know if you noticed, Chapman the service dog was just here. He got on camera for a few minutes. If
Like
you guys,
a hot second.
yeah, he's a wonderful dog. He's in love with Frank, which
He
makes
is.
me realize he's black and white, and I'm wondering if he's white with black spots or black with white spots. And I'm starting to think he's black with white spots.
We're kindred spirits.
That's right. That's right. And you guys have the same amount of hair.
We do.
I have another dog that runs around here. We won't bring him on because he's a fucking asshole. And literally,
don't talk bad about Steve.
I could
He's your favorite little asshole.
I could tape him to my face, and you guys would think it was just part of my beard. But we won't get into that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you by all means for allowing us to come onto this platform and show you what we do. And hopefully we can see you many more times over the next several decades of our lives. I'm not sure if...
Why did you make it sound like a soap opera just?
I'm not sure if...
He's just
what
thanking them for allowing us to come.
It's what I do. I thank you
Sounds
for
like my
coming.
wife.
I'm not sure if there's any veterans that are on Compound Media. I know Anthony plays Call of Duty quite extensively. And I think that makes you... If you... Like, at what point, how many hours do you actually become a veteran? If you
1,500,
I would, yeah,
about 1,500
hours, then you're finally you can have PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
I look at it. This is what
then
I
you
say.
get. Then you get the national defense. You get the peace
people. We're just going to go off for a few seconds here. So when I meet people and they're because people find out you're a veteran and they're like, well, either they put on this phony like, thank you for your service, and it's like, don't
so
fucking
much,
touch me.
dude.
What are you looking at me like that for? Like you had
You have
cancer.
really soft hands, by the way.
I do. Air Force hands.
Air Force, man.
Dude.
But that's what they do, right? They give you the sad look and they're like, oh, I'm sorry that you had to do what you had to do for me.
He's
And it's
sipping
like,
his coffee. He's just like,
I didn't do this for you. None of us did this for you. But what I like to say is I'm like, oh, did you serve? No. And I'm like, you fucking pussy. You are a, like,
fucking
seriously, who's your wife? Give her my number because she needs to know what it's like to be with a real man.
Exactly.
That's, I mean, and what's funny
so
is,
then Kevin texts Frank and me for the Marines.
Hey guys, could you do me a favor? They're
Can you give me some pointers?
How did Chip say it? It's all in the hips.
It's all in there.
All in the
Wait.
hips.
As an Air Force guy, right? You're supposed to always be bent over, right? Isn't that how you fuck your wife? What happened?
I mean, yeah.
Where did this go?
I don't have a wife, so I don't know.
I used to.
You are the yeah.
I
So
am the
anyways-
wife at this point.
Anyways, I hope we can add something to the platform. This is what we do. This is what you get. Normally, we get some guests on. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit me up, Kevin at 21gun.net. You got to spell that out, 21gun.net. I respond to all emails, so send me an email. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Usually, they're like, dude, why are you even on anything? And I cry. And I stain my pillows with my tears every single
tears of
night.
Tears
depression.
in his own cum. He's
But
like,
we
depression.
enjoyed being on the show, and I hope to see you guys again in the future. Without further ado, that's what I usually say before we bring on a guest. So I fucked that up right at the very end. Thank you for checking us out, and we will see you guys next week.
Wink, wink.
take care, guys.
This is where we usually have out music. And hold on. Compound Media out music. Go.